Alright guys, I got to pick up this morning for that new client that I got with the breast implants that I did the delivery for the other day. Hold on. Let me get it together, guys. Let me write down. Let me fill out my invoice. It is 11:40 a.m. Alright. Hold on. I write it in my book. I always write everywhere I'm going and the mileage, the company name, and then I always write the amount that I'm getting paid. In my book, my expense book, gas, stuff like that. So anyway, yeah. So this is the client that from the other day, the new client that I got. He has a cosmetic surgery business. And the other day I met him at his warehouse, and today I guess he wanted me to come pick up from his business. So I'm going to Bluffton, South Carolina, which is close to Hardyville, where I went at the other day, but it's going to be delivered to a different location this time. It's not going to a hospital. I think it's going to some aesthetics, if I'm saying that right, aesthetics business this time. So anyway, yeah, I dropped my son off to school this morning, and I went did Spark got that incentive. I think it's 25 deliveries if I'm not mistaken, and you get $125. So I was trying to chip away at that before I do anything else, and then when I get back, if I don't get anything, normally airspace does not work in that area. If I was going to Savannah, I would get an airspace, but airspace is not big out in Bluffton and Hardyville and Hilton Head, Beaufort area. It's not big out there. I think Curry. I've taken some freight for Curry out there, but I've never picked up any freight from that area. I don't really think those are little country towns, so I don't think really nothing is out that way. Anyway, so yeah, I'm trying to work on that, trying to get those deliveries done so I can get the $125. Anyway, yeah, I kind of want to talk today about basically listening to YouTube content creators. I know I have a YouTube channel, and I try to be as transparent as I can with a lot of information that I share, with a lot of the things that I do. And I know that it looks easy, and I make good money doing it, but I just want a lot of the people to know that it didn't start out that way. It did not start that way. And I think that the reason why I am able to sustain in this business, and it'll be 2 years in April, is because I keep my options open. I don't put myself in a box. I don't just say, well, I only deliver freight, or I only do gig apps. I don't put myself in a box. I am in business to make money. I am in business to make my business grow, and whatever comes with that, I'm willing to do. You have some content creators out here that's making you guys believe that you can make $2,000 a week doing gig apps. You can get in the medical courier field and you can make $2,000-3,000 a week. It's possible. It is possible. But coming out of the gate with anything you do, it's not possible. You have to get out here. You got to get your feet wet. You may have to do a lot of things that you don't want to do. I've seen some content creators say that they don't do gig apps, or I never do gig apps. I'm only going to be doing no touch freight, whatever the case may be. But that may work for them because maybe they've been out here for a minute, and they can have that luxury of, you know, pulling up to a warehouse, getting loaded, dropping off, not getting out of the van to do anything, and forklift come snatch it out of it, or whatever the case may be. But I guarantee you, they had to put that work in to get to that point. You know, and because of the rates now, the rates have dropped, I mean, tremendously on every level, on every platform. Gig apps, carrier companies, I mean, the rates have dropped tremendously. So in a way, you know, it's really not worth working for a carrier company or even getting on the load boards. It just depends on, you know, your relationship with the shippers, you know, your relationship with these companies. You know, if you've been in this business for a minute and you got a good relationship with these companies, these shippers and everything, maybe you could get, you know, good rates. But just starting out, you know, you may not. You know what I mean? So this is 2026, and I kind of just don't want you guys to continue to listen to some of these content creators that aren't elevating. You have to be able to elevate in life. You know what I mean? I definitely have elevated from where I started. I'm constantly, my business is constantly changing. I mean, constantly changing from how it started to the point that now it's like I don't have to really work as hard as I did. I used to stress a lot when I first started. I don't stress no more. I don't stress anymore, because it's like you have to have that mentality, that hustler's mentality, to make, you know, 2, 3, 4 things come together into one. You know, you make a few dollars over here, you make a few dollars over here, you make a few dollars over here, and it all adds up to what you are trying to make on a daily basis. I never thought I would be doing Spark. I never thought I'd be shopping for somebody else and delivering groceries to somebody's house. But I'm not closed-minded. You know, some people, I never shop for nobody. I never do Walmart Spark. I would never do Uber Eats or anything like that. And, you know, those are the main ones that are now, when you watch them on YouTube, don't have nothing going on. They don't have anything going on. They trying to come up with content, and it's just sad. It's sad. And some of the ones that I've watched when I first started that, you know, basically made me feel like I should get a cargo van is the main one now. That's not doing anything. That's not doing nothing. They aren't even in their cargo vans anymore because they couldn't sustain the business. You got to be able to elevate yourself and elevate your mind and change your thinking when it comes to the transportation space. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you're driving old folks to their doctor appointment or whatever. But you have to be able to incorporate, you know, other things into that in order to make your business grow. You know, there's only a few content creators that I still watch that I feel, you know, have grown from the time that I've started watching them, and that's Big CJ. Me and his story is like mirrored. I'll start, and what we're doing now sort of is mirrored. Only thing that I crossed over into more of the medical field. I crossed over more into the courier space, and he crossed over more into doing moves. He do a lot of moves now. But, you know, he started out doing gig apps. You know what I mean? He started out doing food delivery. You know, he still does expedite. You know, he made that a part of his business. He do expedite and expedite order every day. He makes that a part of his business. You know, so certain things, like for me, Spark, I made that a part of my business. You know, I get up in the morning, I do 2 or 3 orders. If I can get 4 in the morning, when I get back in the afternoon, you know, I'll do like a little 5, 6, and I make it all come together. You know, it depends. I do Uber sometimes. It just kind of depends. The rates of Uber has dropped So some of the orders really don't make sense. So it's like I'm not going to penny pinch myself. That's one thing. I'm not going to penny pinch myself, and I don't want nobody else to penny pinch themselves. Roadie used to be my #1 app. I used to make so much money on Roadie when I first started out in my cargo van. You know, I used to get orders and make a route out of it, make $300-400 a day. And now Roadie is trash. Freight, trash. GoShare, trash. Bungee, trash. You know, they're all trash now. Dispatch, trash. You know what I mean? Curry is still there. Curry was my #2. Curry used to pay $3-4 a mile. I used to do a lot of my transmedic deliveries with Curry. And just say I went to Tampa, I used to get paid $1,300-1,400 from here to Tampa with those transmedic deliveries. That was transporting medical, like livers and hearts and stuff, along with the equipment. And now, oh my God, they really don't even want to pay $1.25 for a cargo van. I got my truck on it now, and the truck rates are better than the cargo van rates. I mean, literally better than the cargo van rates. You know what I mean? So I will never stop doing Zifty. I would never stop doing Spark as long as I can, as long as I'm not, you know, they don't kick me off the platform. Those two things, you know, I would never stop doing. Uber, I would never stop doing. Because those are filler apps. They're not something that you would do full time. They're apps that you use along with whatever else you got going on, and they're filler apps. You know what I mean? So, and another content creator, it's called, I wrote it down because I can't ever remember his name, but it's Daily Grind with the Grams. He started out doing DoorDash, Grubhub, stuff like that, and he saved his money. He went out and got a cargo van, and he does OTR. He's out of, I think it's Houston, Texas, I think, and he does OTR. And he's been in the business for a minute now, so he has a relationship, you know, with the shippers, with the companies and everything. So, you know, he's getting really good rates going over the road. But he's one of those type of people that you don't have to be home on a daily basis. And that's the only way you're going to make money, is not trying to be home every day. You know, every day I'm wrestling. He's another one that started out with gig apps. And he got into the cargo van, and the rates for him just sucked. I think he's out of Alabama, if I'm not mistaken. And his rates just sucked. I mean, I used to watch his channel and be like, dude, you're not making no money. Because the company he was signed with, he had to give them a percentage of every run he did, along with spending gas, along with, you know, having to buy food on the road and everything else. He wasn't making any money. So he decided to get a contract. And that was the best thing for him. He has a contract every day. You know what I mean? So sometimes when certain things don't work out, you got to go to the next best thing and see what works for you. Sometimes the contract works for certain people. Sometimes the contract don't. Like, I don't want a contract. I've had a contract. And but the contract I had was lenient. Like, I think I had 8 hours or 10 hours, whatever, to deliver all my packages. So if I had to go get my son from school, I could have done that because the route was in my area where I live at. I could go get him from school. He could ride with me in the van. I didn't have to do it Monday through Friday. I picked the days I wanted to work. And that's the only reason why I like that route. It paid $300 a day. And it don't matter what time I got finished. I got to get finished in 4 hours. I still got to pay $300. It was delivering 100 HelloFresh packages. And the only reason why I stopped doing that route was because they couldn't keep drivers, and they ended up closing the location here. But I used to do HelloFresh on Mondays and Tuesdays because at that time, that was my slowest days of the week. So I was guaranteed, you know, $300 a day. That was $600 that I would make just doing that. And then, well, it was somebody else then, Pat Gigtainment. I'm going to say this about him. I like Pat Gigtainment. You know, I think he's doing great. I ain't even gonna lie. His van is paid for. He paid off a lot of his credit cards and student loans. You know what I I mean? So he really don't need to make a certain amount of money a day. $200 a day is enough for him. You know, he started out gig apps. He's still doing gig apps. He had a contract, but the company ended up closing. And, you know, for some people, they wouldn't know what to do after that. You know, after you had a contract and it closed down or whatever the case, you lose it or whatever. Some people don't know how to bounce back from it. And he's one of those people that I feel that, you know, bounced back. He didn't let it, you know, hinder him. He just kept going. He kept going and trying to find other avenues and other streams of income. And he's elevating himself. So, you know, stop listening to some of these people on YouTube. You know what I mean? Seriously, stop listening to some of these people. They throw out a lot of numbers without proof. CMS Cargo, he's another one. He started out Curry, Airspace, TaskRabbit, and he ended up getting a Lowe's contract. And I mean, this man, he's killing it. He's making from $600 to $800 a day because he do 2 routes. You know, he don't do just 1 route. He do 2 routes. So he has like maybe 15 to 30 stops a day. But he's killing them. Who wouldn't want to make $600 to $800 a day doing 2 routes? And he gets finished before 4 o'clock every day. You know what I mean? But he elevated his business and he decided that, you know, the rates were crazy. He didn't want to deal with it. He'd get a route. He ended up getting 2 routes. So for me, I think because, you know, I know how to get out here and get it. I mean, I really do. I've always had a job, but I've always had something I was doing on the side. Always. Like I DJ'd for years. I used to throw parties at clubs. I did that for years to make extra money. I always knew how to make extra money. So for me, you know, when one door closed, I always try to find another door. I'm always researching. I'm always applying for different companies. I'm always, you know, trying to find the next thing to fill a gap. You know what I mean? Because like for me, my mornings now is my gap until like 10, 11 o'clock. So if I can find something early in the morning, because Spark is okay until around 9. And then once 9 o'clock hits, Spark falls off until around 12, 1 o'clock. So if I can find something in the morning that I could do until around 10, 11 o'clock when my contracts start calling, you know, that'll be good. And I wouldn't have to deal with Spark until in the afternoons. But you got to know how to keep it moving. You got to know how to keep pushing. And not everybody needs a cargo van. Not everybody needs to create debt for themselves like I did. Right now, you know, when I traded that van in, you know, I traded that van in upside down. I traded that van in upside down because I only had the van, like I said, it'll be 2 years in April, and I barely made a dent into the payments. I bought that van brand new, $33,000. So, you know, you guys do the math. I went and got a brand new Silverado, $50,000, added to what I had left owed on the van. So I went into it upside down. But I had to get out of that van. The van was just sitting in the driveway. I wasn't using it. I could have gotten a contract. Curry, they offer me contracts all the time. I be putting them in my shorts to let you guys know. But I'm not going to do an 8-hour contract for $300 when I can do 1 run and make $300 and don't have to be out 8 hours. You know, so for me, I think I'm spoiled in that way. And I know that that's bad, you know, bad to say. If I had to do a contract, I would definitely do a contract. I would definitely take Curry up on their offer and do a contract because I wouldn't have to drive my vehicle. I would be driving that company's vehicle. They'd be putting the gas. They'd be paying for expenses. So, you know, it's a win with the contract. Don't get me wrong, because if you think about it, and I had to drive my van, and I think the miles was like $200 a day, and I had to drive my van 5 days a week. You know, I'll be spending, I don't know, maybe close to $200 in gas. So if they were paying me $300, I factored in $200. I factor in expenses as far as if I got to eat lunch or, you know, I got to get an oil change or whatever the case may be. You know, I'm looking at maybe $600-700 a week. So with this company, I would be eliminating gas. I would be eliminating expenses. You know what I mean? I'm driving their vehicle. They got to get oil changes. They got to get tune-ups. They got to get tires. But I just feel like, you know, I just felt like it wasn't worth it. Now, my business partner, you know, she was like, I wish, you know, she did sign up for Courage. She's still on the waiting list all the time. And if she wasn't on the waiting list and could have gotten it, she said she would have done it. For her, it would have been great for her. But for me, it's just not great for me. So do your research, guys, man. Do your research. And if you think about it and you go back, say 2-3 years, now even when the pandemic was out here, and everybody was making these YouTube videos, telling you to get in a cargo van, trying to get you to do this and trying to get you to do that, try to go and find their videos now and see if they have any content that's out. See what they're doing, because half of the people that I was watching when I first got into it, they don't even make videos anymore. They're not even on YouTube anymore. Like, their business just basically failed. It failed because they did not want to think outside the box. Those things that they did not want to do. And you can't have that mind frame. You can't have that mind frame to say, well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do Rudy. No, I don't want to do Uber Eats. I don't want to do Spark. I don't want to do a freight order. But if it makes sense and that money at the end of the day is going to add up, why not? Why not? I mean, should never be too good to do anything that's going to benefit you. You know what I mean? So that's all I want to say on that topic is, you know, keep your mind open. Don't put yourself in a box. Think outside the box when it comes to elevating. You always want to take your business to a different level. You know what I mean? Like, this right here is so easy. Go someplace, pick up stuff, drop it off, take a picture, get a name. Either it's in an app or you text it to the recipient, like this guy, I be texting to him. Like, easy. It's easy. If I get 2 of these a day, I don't have to do anything else, really. I don't have to do nothing else. If I don't want to, I don't have to. But, you know, I have a goal this year of being credit card debt free. And once I reach that goal, you know, I probably still be doing the same thing because I'm going to have a new goal. You know, I'm going to have a new goal that I want to reach. So I'm probably still going to be doing it until I reach all the goals that I set for myself. Once I reach all the goals I set for myself, then I can kick back and relax. I can kick back. I could do and be honest with you, I can actually do an airspace or 2 every day, and I really don't have to do anything else either. Because airspace, I mean, throughout the day, at least I would say 8 to 10 airspace orders come out in my area. In my areas, literally in my area. So I really can just live off of airspace, to be honest. I can live off of airspace if I wanted to, and don't do anything else. You know what I mean? So don't be one of those people that, you know, don't want to do this or that because they feel that it's demeaning, or, you know, they were once in a cargo van and now they're not, and they don't know what to do next, and all this other stuff. Like, you got to keep it moving. You know what I mean? Those bills don't stop. You know what I mean? Bills don't stop. Bills keep going. So you have to keep going. And you have to keep all your opportunities going and open. Point blank. So that's it. I'm seeing you guys at the drop off. And we're going to see what we're going to get into after that. Alright guys, I had to make a phone call. This is a new development or something back then. I couldn't find the place, so let me walk in here and take this. Alright guys, that's it. I found the right establishment. It's going to one of those aesthetics, whatever you call that thing. One of those places, one of those bougie spa places that install implants, stuff like that. Oh, son. Anyway, yeah, this is new development. I ain't never been this far in Bluffton before, so this is very new to me. Got a lot of nice establishments over here, restaurants and businesses and stuff. This one's the bougie part of town, I guess. I don't know. So anyway, that's it for this video, guys. By the time I get back, freaking sun. By the time I get back, it'll be around 4 by the time I get back. So I'm definitely gonna pick back up where I left off at with Spark. Let me try to get out of here. And because airspace will be coming out when I get back, but you know, Monday through Thursday I am limited to what I can do, so I won't be able to take anything from airspace because I'll get back too late. So I just take off where I left off at Spark. Anyway, you guys have a blessed and prosperous day, and remember what I told you guys, think outside the box. Think outside the box. Always try to reinvent yourself, reinvent your business, reinvent your mind frame. Be open to anything as long as it's legal. And you can make $1 from it. Uh-oh. You went in the wrong lane to try to do that, buddy. Anyway, that's it for me, guys. It's your girl Hannah B, Courier Chick, signing out. Make sure you like, subscribe, share the channel. Subscribe and share the channel. Peace out.